Well, heading into town. Oh, those guys just came out of nowhere. Visibility is at a minimum this morning. Hello. This is crazy. Coming across the lake, I had about 30 feet of visibility in front of me. Super sketchy. Now we go nice and slow. Not good. You let that all dry out. So I think the problem was that this is a 212 roof, which you're not supposed to use like overlapping shingles or tar paper on anything less than a 312 roof, right? So the pitch would be a bit higher and water drains faster. This is too low. So the rainwater is able to wick up underneath the layers, and capillary action pulls the water in from the sides and underneath. If you don't, I'm sure if I did like double overlaps, where I overlapped each piece like half the roll and did like 2 layers, then it would shed water. But I was in a hurry and I just threw it on there because I was going to get the metal roof on as quick as I could, but turns out I'm not as quick as I think I am. And so now we need to let this all dry out. And then I'm going to put a synthetic roofing membrane on it and tape the seams so water can't wick up in between the layers, and I'll do like a double over layer. And then I'm going to strap it with some 1x4s to create a little airspace and put that metal roof on and get the flashings and everything capped on here, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. That's the plan anyway, so we'll let this dry out in the sun. Probably put the roof on tomorrow. Man, it's so nice up here. It's like warm.
It's warm by this fire too.
I'll like lay down in the sun and take a nap, but stuff to do. Woohoo! Yeah, it's a nice little crown there. So my theory on what happened is we put the tar paper on the night before. It poured rain all night. The rain, because I didn't overlap the tar paper enough, same issue on the outhouse, leached up underneath the tar paper, got into the wood, got it all wet essentially. Then we threw 2 more tarps on top of it, trapping all the water in there. The boards over time absorbed all the water, and these are supposed to be nickel gaps, so there's supposed to be a, you know, 1/8 of an inch gap in the tongue and groove joints that create a shadow line. And you can see that those gaps have swelled tight now. It looks like tight tongue and groove, and they're even starting to buckle a little bit. So what's happening, we know this roof was straight when I framed it. It was dead straight, which is straighter than regular straight. Dead straight, it's like it's deadly straight. So what happens is all the boards, they've been nailed down with galvanized ring shank nails, which hold really well. And then all the boards have swelled, and the whole unit is now, the joints are pushing like that, which is causing them to pull the rafters into that crown, right? So that's an insane amount of pressure. That's why we've taken all the tar paper off here, and we're letting the sun get at this because we want to try and dry out the wood a bit before we put another membrane on properly and seal it all up. Now eventually the wood stove will be on the inside, and that'll dry out the wood from the inside, so I'm not worried about, you know, rotting or mold or anything like that. But I definitely don't want this to get any more moisture and swell anymore, because it can actually start to buckle the joints and pull the nails right out if it gets more moisture on it. So we gotta get it dry here before we put the final roof on, because once it's on, well, ain't taking it off. So before we put the membrane on here, I'm just doing a couple, probably every other row. I'm making a relief cut along the joint, just so that if the wood does continue to swell, it's not going to buckle the joints. It's probably overkill, but I just don't want my joints to start pulling the nails up. If we put a membrane over here and the wood hasn't dried properly or whatever, it'll dry from underneath, but until then, a couple relief cuts won't hurt. don't do this at home, kids. But the sun's just gone down, and my electrician friend Mike is on his way up. So we're gonna head over to the boat launch while we still got daylight. But we'll probably be coming back in the dark. Not the biggest deal, seeing as there's no traffic on the lake, but there's a heck of a lot of deadheads. And I broke my navigation lights. I had some boards sticking out of the back of my truck when I trailered the boat. I turned the corner and it ripped the nav lights right off the front of my boat. So we're just gonna be using our iPhone lights, and I got a Makita spotlight camp light. So there will be lights on the boat, but yeah, probably not the safest thing to do in the winter time, driving boats in the dark. But hey, living my life.
The electricians have arrived. There's Mike. Ready for a night cruise?
Yeah. If I ever.
What do you think, Jess?
This is gonna be fun. What could go wrong? Do not try this at home. Sketchiest boat ride I've ever been on, so don't worry. Okay, switch that thing to a spotlight on the front, click it twice.
There you go.
Aim it forward.
Captain Samurai does it again.
The big one's for the booth. I was hoping that would be I was hoping it would be the legend continues, not that's where the legend ends.
Yeah. It nearly ended.
And they left the ramp and no one ever saw them again. Thus concludes the legend of Samurai Jesse.